What do I mean? We see this superiority mentality in many forms today. Let's start with the very people who were the victim of racism and sexism in the past. If you are black and you have mistreated white people while thinking, I am sure glad I am not one of those darn racist white person, then you are acting on the same superiority mentality and drove white people to racism. If you are a woman who is feminist and every time you interact with a man you are a rude, disrespectful and condescending sending because you think that all men are sexiest pigs, then you are acting on the same superiority mentality that drove sexist behavior in the man. Other way we practice the superiority complex, wealth status. If you are wealthy and you derive your sense of self-worth by thinking that you are better than others who are only middle class or poor, then you are too practicing the same superior mentality that led to the racism and sexism. Educational level. If you have a high level of education or you derived your sense of self-worth by thinking that you are better than others who have a lower level of education, then you too have fallen prey for the same superiority mentality that proven the racism and sexism. Bodybuilder. If you are a bodybuilder, then who likes to lift weight and should derive your senses of self-worth by looking down on the other who are runs, then you too are victim the same superiority mentality that drove racism and sexism. If you are a beautiful, good looking and attractive person and you derive your sense of self-worth by looking down on the people who are not visually appealing, then you are practicing that very same superiority mentality. It doesn't end there. Gossiping around the water cooler. If you have ever been at work, you gathered around water cooler with your coworker to gossip about the stupid things that your other coworker did. Then you are building up your sense of self-worth and importance by looking down on your coworker. You are still utilizing the same superiority mentality that caused racism and sexism. Conclusion. The truth of the matter is that whenever we build up our sense of importance, value, and self worth by thinking that we are better than someone else, or by looking down on the someone else as inferior to ourselves, we are utilizing the very same superiority complex that derive racism and sexism. If you think that you are better than or superior to people who are racist or sexist, you are wrong. You are practicing the very same superiority complex that derive them. If we really want to make our society better, then we really need to figure out a better way to derive our sense of importance, value, and self-worth by thinking, by developing a superiority complex. Only when we have completely trashed the superiority complex in every way, shape, and form, the figure out another way to derive our sense of self-worth. Only when can society forge ahead into the bright future. Thank you very much.